How y'all doing? You ever heard somebody say, here go your little funky $5. Here go your little funky $10 you've been asking me for. You ever heard somebody say that? You ever thought about if you did that with the bank? Here go your little funky $500. Here go your little funky $10,000. You don't think they want to give you more money? They would love to give you more money. But our problem is we have a hood mentality. We think too much in the hood. See, and that was my problem. I didn't owe anybody in the street, but I had a 590 credit score too. You see, I wasn't paying the banks back. I wasn't paying my medical bills. I wasn't paying that car ticket. I heard somebody say on social media, it was a meme. It said, the secret to an 800 credit score. Pay them people. There it is. Pay them people. If you borrowed it, give them back their money. I know it's kind of funny, but when I read it, I was like, man, that is hilarious, but it's so true. Right? The banks are in the lending business. They want to give you money. As soon as you go make a deposit in the bank, they're already using your money. They're getting ready to use your money to give it to somebody else. Why not use OPM, other people's money? I'm going to tell you, credit has changed my life in a way that's unbelievable. And if you didn't grow up with a rich Uncle Phil, if you didn't grow up in the suburbs, if you didn't grow up with that silver spoon, credit is your ticket out. I'm going to tell you a story about how I started with credit and things that I did. And maybe it's going to help somebody. Maybe it'll ruffle somebody's tail feathers and make them say, you know what? I'm going to go out and change my credit life too. So I've been in the credit game. I call it a game because that's what it is. It's really a game if you know how to play this thing. Right? I've been in for about 7 years now. So 7 years ago, I applied for this credit card at the Banana Republic. I was there at the cashier. She asked me if I wanted to apply for a credit card. I said, sure. I applied. I was immediately declined. I felt this big, y'all. I did. Here I am, well-established businessman, this and that, and can't even get a credit card. So I called a credit repair company. I won't say the name of that company, but I called that company. And I asked them about some things on my credit, and they said that I had a $1,900 medical bill, and I had something else for $500. I forget what it was, but I remember the amounts very clearly. So I went back. I didn't go with the credit repair company. I wanted to try to do it on my own, and that's what I did. So first thing I did was I chipped away at that $500 amount. That $1,900 amount, I had called a medical company and things like that. I was trying to get like some arrangements made, but I didn't. One day I was in Boston store, and the cashier said, "You want to apply for a credit card?" And I was like, "No, I know I'm gonna get declined. I know it already." And she was like, "You want to just try?" I was like, "Sure." So I tried. I was approved for $250. I couldn't believe it. I was like, whoa. So I went right away that night because I couldn't believe it. I applied for a Capital One credit card, $300. Now I'm getting kind of discouraged. Like, wait a minute, $300 and $250. Now here I went from no credit to having some kind of credit now, and I was like, whoa. My mom and my sister, they all have stellar credit. You know, their credits are way into the 800s. They have high limits. And I was just getting into the game, and I was like, why do they have such high limits and I don't? So I applied the next day for a Chase Freedom credit card, $500. So here it is, $500, $300, $250. Now I should have just been happy just getting approved, but now I feel frustrated and disappointed. So I got on something that was called Credit Karma, and I know you guys heard of Credit Karma. And it said I had a good credit score of 760. Come to find out, guys, that $1,900 had been on my credit for over 7 years, and it just fell off my credit report. See, that's the thing. Things that have been on your credit for over 7 years eventually fall off, as long as it's not a foreclosure, something like, or a bankruptcy. So here I am now with a 706, a good credit score. 6 months later, that Capital One card had what's called a credit builder. As long as you pay payments every month for 6 months, they increase you to whatever limit it was. But one day I got on the computer and I looked, my credit score went from my credit limit went from $300 to $4,300. I was like, whoa. Man, I was so happy. I just looked at that. I just stared at that screen. I couldn't believe it. Not too long after that, I applied for a Chase business credit card and they gave me $5,000. And I'm sure that they gave me that $5,000 because of the $4,300 that Capital One gave me. See how that worked? Now, from then after, I started getting more and more and more high limit cards after that Capital One gave me that credit builder program, and I completed that. So now, guys, fast forward to now, 7 years later, and I'm sitting here at an 840 credit score, a whole book of credit cards personally, a whole book of credit cards for business. And I'm going to tell you, business credit, when you mix that with personal credit, it's like an explosion. You see all those drums behind me, right? That all came from credit. Credit built all of that. I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. Well, I'll gladly pay you on the 15th if you front me my merchandise right now. That's how I feel. Anybody, I'm going to pay you back. Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase. If you give me a chance, I'm going to pay you back because I see what it has done for my life. Okay, so now, like I said, here I am at 840. Was able to buy a home, one nice vehicle. I just went and bought another nice vehicle, a few months ago. Man, they treated me like royalty. Mr. Birdsong, what do you want? This and that, whatever. You want some water? Oh, man, they treated me like royalty. Hey, you can take the car home, this and that. Anything I wanted. The finance manager said, when you have credit the way you have credit, Mr. Birdsong, you make the terms. You say what you want to do. Okay, if you don't want to do any money down, or if you want to do this, and it was just a beautiful feeling. Like I said, credit has put my business on steroids. I've eliminated all the competition, right? Because I can get new products. As you can see, I'm always making videos about new oils that are coming in. This new oil, that new oil, this new. I'm always ahead of the competition because of credit. Okay, guys? Remember, if you want to get a good job, right? A lot of times they pull credit. That high-rise apartment, they're going to pull your credit. That new boutique that you want, they're probably going to check your credit. So as you can see, there's really no way around it, right? You have to improve your credit. And when you do, it's going to change your life forever. Okay? It's your boy talking to you. I promise you that. All right. You have any questions, whatever? Listen, I am not a credit repair person. I don't repair credit. You just want to ask me some questions, that's fine. Or even tell me what your credit score is. Let's talk credit for a minute because I love to talk about credit. All right. Thanks for watching.